Hello, Future Sam here. The video you're about to watch, please wait until the end. Make sure you watch the whole thing if you can, because I want to show you the most honest version of this review, but I also want you to see the end clip that I'm going to insert that I after sitting down for a little bit this morning. So please watch this video, and hopefully you find it useful and appreciate the honesty of it, as well as the final bit as well. So, back to Past Sam. Hello, welcome back to another video from Emperor's Path. Today I am going to be having a look at the Hornby HM6000. This is something that was not on my radar. I went to the engine shed / gauge master with my father-in-law and saw this on the shelves, saw the set separately for it as well, and we were just sort of stood talking about it, and then we realised that it's a DC system rather than a DCC, which is what I thought it was, and it allows you to control your layout through Bluetooth on your phone. It also allows you to control two power lines or two loops, two lines, something along that sort of theory, using it. Now, apparently all you need to do it is your layout that you're going to be hooking it up to power wise, and you need to be using something like this. Let's see if it can focus. The Hornby power connector, or the old school one where it's the two little prongs that sit like that and go underneath the track. As well as that, you're going to need the HM6000 unit. You're going to need a mobile device or a tablet. I only have my mobile, so we're going to be using that. And you're going to need a power unit because it doesn't come with the device. Now, I stupidly thought that this was that it needed the P900, which is the one that comes with the newer Hornby controller, which looks like this. Sadly, it's not the right plug, and one thing Hornby loves is having lots of different plugs that don't work universally with everything, and I understand that because of volts and amps and stuff like that, they need to be able to make sure they're all the right thing. So I'm going to have a go at setting this up. We're going to be using it on my Inglenook shunting puzzle, only because it's cooler down here. I don't have to go up into the loft then to do it and absolutely bake. And we're going to see if it works. So we're going to mainly be using it just to test that what it's like using it on the app, and then maybe at a later date I'll be able to show you me using it on the layout upstairs. One of the main reasons that I wanted to give this a go is because it gives you the ability to do it all via phone, so no matter where I'm standing in the loft, I'll be able to start and stop trains as I see fit. It does give you the option of getting an accessory unit to go with it so that you can control point motors and signals and things like that. I like the old school way of using the switches, like you can see on my Inglenook puzzle. I just like the idea of manually flipping all the points myself. I feel like that's the more fun aspect of it, but I completely understand why you'd maybe want to be able to do it on your phone and literally go, right, okay, I'm going to do on the layout, I'm going to change this point, this point, and this point, and I'm going to change the power on this particular train. So I'm going to unbox it, get it all out. I've already got the app on my phone. I'm going to talk a little bit about the app as well, because I've used it before this for something completely different. So yeah, we'll get it unboxed and then we'll get it all hooked up. So quickly going over the app, I just wanted to try and show this as much as I can, stretch my arm out as far as possible. So I originally downloaded this app because it has a layout builder in it. It comes with some predetermined ones, and it comes with the ability to make your own layout. I'm going to say straight off the bat, I don't know if it's better on a tablet. I think that part of the app is rubbish. Not sensitivity, but when you're trying to put two pieces of track together, it doesn't necessarily click the two pieces together always. It doesn't make it easy to see if you can do that, and I think it's something that they could really work on with that app. The idea behind it's great. I think a mobile track builder app would be fantastic, but yeah, it didn't do what I was expecting it to do straight off the bat. But that's neither here nor there, because that's not what we're actually here to look at. We're here to look at this. Okay, so I've taken the controller off the Inglenook. One thing that's worth mentioning is that the cables that go to the track, to the power units, are really long, which makes a nice change, because usually you can get ones where they are extremely short. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this hooked up via Bluetooth, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, I'm going to say it now. There's a flashing blue light. If you are sensitive to flashing lights, please look away and listen, or turn off this video. That's your warning. It's actually been a lot longer since I filmed that last clip, in terms of this took far much longer than I anticipated it to take to get this all set up. So I plugged it all in, and then when I was looking on the app for the devices, I went to home, and on System Overview it didn't have anything, so the quick guide said to go to settings, so I went to settings, and it told me to go to device provisioning, which, come on, so it told me to go to device provisioning, and then told me to scan for devices. So I scanned for devices, clicking the bottom of the button at the bottom. Now when I clicked that, it wasn't picking up the device at all. It couldn't find it in any way, shape or form. So I went onto my Bluetooth to search for devices to see if I could find it. The device was sitting there in devices that I could pair with, clicked on it, the blue light flashed on it, but nothing happened. So then I went into settings and tried mucking around with some of the Bluetooth settings on there. There's Bluetooth mode on there. Now, I had to do this for it to kickstart, to suddenly start picking it up. So this, for me, is a massive flaw, that you have to do all of this gumph, and it doesn't mention any of this on the quick start guide. So please bear that in mind when I'm talking about this. I apologise, it keeps going in and out of focus. I will try and talk about this instead. So then it comes up with mesh provisioning and forwarding on the device, and then it asks whether you want to switch to standard BLE. So I clicked on standard BLE, and it asked me if I wanted to switch to that, and then eventually, through doing that, I then went back to scan for device, found the device, went on it, and you could operate it, but everything was coming up in red, and I had no idea why. Okay, I'm going to be very honest. The last 45 minutes have not been sunshines and rainbows. This app device is extremely finicky with how it gets connected. Every time I got it so that I was connected to it, it would then flag up saying that I was not connected to the network. And in my mind, I'm like, what network? This is a Bluetooth device. It was saying that I was connected to the device, but it was also saying I was not connected. I have gone around in the settings to try and fix it. I've tried doing the firmware update on it, which failed every single time I did it, but didn't explain why. It said 100% each time it downloaded and things like that. So this app isn't my friend right now, but I've got it working to show you what the ability of the app is, and hopefully you'll be able to see something from this to see it working. I will be going away and trying to sort of get in contact with Hornby to try and either get a crash course on how to do it or give them some advice on how to fix their app. It's not super simple to set up. I found it exceedingly frustrating with no troubleshooting or anything in the setup manual for getting it sorted. However, let's go to the more positive side of it, and I can confirm that you can move your train and stuff using the app, because I didn't want to come back and start filming again to not be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this open here and try and get it so that it can focus on my phone screen for a second for you. So it gives you the option of circuit 1 and just circuit 1 and circuit 2. So I was having to play around with the little bits and bobs. So what you can do is you can set up what type of loco you're running on this as well. You can set up the direction of where the train's going to go. You can brake, which gradually decreases the speed, which I'll demonstrate in a second. You can stop, which does an emergency stop. Gives you lots of different sounds. These are nowhere near as impressive as some of the DCC ones that are available, but it does give you some nice little interesting sounds. Like, this is set to a diesel, so it's just starting up. Horns. And because it's got it going, what you can do is, as soon as you start the speed, stop, direction, so as you start the speed up. And if you click brake, you have to tap it quite a bit. The increments are very slow, but it eventually goes down and stops the loco. So if I go backwards and pick the speed back up, you'll see it in the background. And then I can slide it. So I set it to the live version. So there's two ways of doing it. You can have a live, let's turn that off. You can have the live version, which as you move the speed up, the speed of the loco goes with it. So if I scroll that up, I can do a slow start, and then eventually it gets faster and faster and faster, and then drag it down to stop it and stuff like that. Likewise, you can click the stop button and it will do a sort of an emergency stop on there as well. If you click emergency stop down at the bottom, it stops both circuits on there for you. So that's a little bit like... Oh, that's a horrible noise, stop that. Yeah, you can basically play around with these little bits on there as well. There is also the drag and drop version of the slider, which is the loco doesn't move until you stop. So I don't want to go into the settings because this app has infuriated me this evening. But what you would do is effectively you move it to what speed you want to go to, and the loco just starts and goes away. A little bit like with the old controllers where you had the left, center, right, and if you put it in the center and cranked the speed right up and then flicked it left or right, it would just go vroom and shoot off like the clappers. But yeah, that's a rough look at how the app works. It's lovely in terms of once you get it working, but it was far more infuriating to set the app up than I wanted it to be for something that's meant to be quite a simple little thing. The idea behind everything is sound. I think if you can fix the teething problems with it, great. I eventually had to switch the Bluetooth mode to the BLE one. I don't know what that means. I don't have any idea, but it's the only one that connected with the device when I needed it to be able to just play around with it. If that's the case of that, it's something like that, somebody tell me what the different Bluetooth bits mean. There's nothing in the instruction manuals that explain it, and when you troubleshoot it, there's not a lot of information available to try and fix it. So yeah, unfortunately a little bit negative, but I also don't want to be praising something that's not easy to use, because that's what I want. I want something simple to use. Okay, so this is the morning after the main bulk of the video that you've just watched. So I went up into the loft early this morning and completed the second loop. I was like, right, I want to get this done. I've got the track and I want to get that done because then I can run 2 trains simultaneously, and it will be nice. And then the rest can sort of, once those 2 major parts are done, everything else can sort of be done at a leisurely pace. Like the ballasting, adding the rest of the track work, and so on and so forth. As I was heading up into the loft, I thought, right, I'm going to take this little app unit up into the loft and I'm going to hook it up and I'm going to see what happens. So I hooked it up, plugged it in, connected it to both tracks after finishing the loops, and I switched on the app on my phone and it instantly connected. So after all of the problems that I was having yesterday, whether it was tiredness or maybe it's just being silly, switched it on, logged onto the app and it connected fine. It was on the BLE setting, which I left it on yesterday, but it connected straight away. So there are a few things about it that I really like, and there are some things about it that I think could be improved through app updates rather than the actual unit itself being a problem. So there could still be an issue with connecting to it. That's something that I need to look into more, but it works at the moment, which is what I want. It has this thing where if you come off the app, it stops everything. And if you have a lock on your phone, like most people do, where after a while it locks it automatically. So I left my phone on and I was just watching trains and I was just like, oh, this is great. My phone locked and then everything stopped. If there was a feature in the app where you could change that setting, there might be. I'll have a look. Just so you know, I checked the app and you can change the setting. There you go. If there was a feature in the app where you can change that setting so that you are able to have it where if your screen locks or goes onto something else, the app just continues as it was. I like it. I think it's good. If Hornby could sort out the issue with having about 7,000 different plugs available for different controllers, just make it so that they're either variable or I don't know, but basically it's annoying. Like if you have a plug, it should work in all the others, or supply it with a plug. I don't care which one you do, just do one of them, please. The little box is cool, it's small. The idea behind it's really good, especially if you've got little ones or anything and they want to use a tablet to control it, or if you've got big ones that want to walk around the room with a tablet but don't want to invest massively into DCC, that's fine as well. So yeah, I'm not going to put videos up because I wanted to get this review of it out, but trust me, it works. You can run two trains separately, and as long as you get the connectors the right way around, you'll be able to run them in the directions that the app says. So yeah, so thank you very much for sticking it around to the end of this review. As I said, I wanted to make sure that you got a very, very honest review of it because I was extremely frustrated last night of how easy it should be to get out of the box, plug in, connect to Bluetooth, because that's not something that we've had for just a couple of years. We've had it for 2003, 2004. It first became quite a mainstream thing on mobiles. So it's not new and it should be easily able to come out of the box and hook up and do all the things. Connecting to Bluetooth devices is ridiculously easy on your phones. But this morning switched it on and everything worked, which it wasn't doing last night. So whether it was me, an update happened or something like that, I don't know, but it works. And I think the idea behind it is really cool. So yeah, if you've used this, let me know your comments down below. If it's something that you're thinking about and you want to ask any questions or see if there's anything I can find out for you before you purchase it, please feel free to pop them in the description down below. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that was fun to watch and that it's something new because there's not a lot of reviews out there for this. So yeah, thanks very much for watching and I'll see you again soon.